Hi, my name is John, and this is Business Update. In this week's episode, we'll be talking about how a popular game, which was made by Hideo Kojima, has been rumored to have a sequel, which was spilled out by one of the main protagonists or actors in this case. We're talking about Mr. Norman Reedus here, a very popular actor known for the Walking Dead series. Anyway, so let's take a closer look of how did this come about. Now, obviously, the game Death Stranding is a very highly controversial one. Because of the genre of the type of game that it portrays. Now, some say it's a walking simulator because you're going to do a lot of walking here, but obviously how Kojima has presented the game is somewhat kind of unique. I haven't played it myself, but I'm looking forward to be able to play it sometime in the future. But nonetheless, the question is how did the public perceive the game here? And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what some critics or some negative feedback is, as long as the majority like the game itself. Anyway, so looking at the Metacritic scores here, let's see. So according to Death Stranding, it has a Metacritic score of 82, which is pretty high compared to a 111 critic reviews only. While in terms of its user score, it's pretty high also, slightly lower than the critics, but it has around 18, a little over 18,000 user ratings here, which is, it's pretty positive, not necessarily overwhelming, which goes back to the main issue where there's I won't say a confusion, but a mix of emotion in terms of how the game was generally received here. But anyway, going back to the article here. So according to TheVerge.com, the title says that Norman Reedus, the main protagonist in the game, says that Death Stranding sequel is in development now. This was according by accident, according to the slip of the tongue, so to speak. So let's read further. So it was mentioned here that the director of the game, Mr. Hideo Kojima, was working on a new project, but there hasn't been much indication as to what it might be. Now, however, according to an interview with Norman Reedus, which let it slip in an interview that he's working on a sequel to Death Stranding. Now, obviously, that's not a big surprise due to how if the game is popular, obviously the publisher will try to churn out more sequels in the future. Now the question is, when will they release it? And according to Mr. Reedus himself, we just started the second one when asked about his work on the first Death Stranding. He goes on to mention that how much work was involved in the motion capture, which pretty remarkable in terms of the face that they were able to accomplish, the different known actors that was involved in the game. You had Matt Mikkelsen is one, and you also have Leia Seydoux as another. And he goes on to mention that it took maybe 2-3 years to finish all the motion capture sessions and everything. So it takes a lot of work, and then the game came out and it won all of those awards, which was a huge thing. And then we started to do the second part of the game, which is pretty remarkable. And obviously, a lot of people would be looking forward as to what the game would look like. Will they continue with the story, or will there be a change in the narrative here? Obviously, the main character is still the same here now. For those who are not familiar, Mr. Kojima, who used to work for Konami, which produced one of the very most popular games that I've played. I mean, the Metal Gear series here, and just kind of sad to say that those two couldn't work together again, regardless of the issues mentioned. But you know, what's interesting here is that the game is moving forward, regardless of what happened in the past, and Death Stranding is here to stay, and more so people can look forward to future involvement with Mr. Norman Reedus and Mr. Kojima here as well. Now, the question here is, when will be the actual release here? Now, it's mentioned here that it's likely the actual release of the game is still some far away, meaning years. And typically, game development takes years and at worst, even a decade for it to be released. And obviously with money being, the driver to release it, to be successful, and generate a lot of hype, hype that how similar to how Cyberpunk 2077 was able to do, would be astonishing here. So maybe we could look forward in a year or two, hopefully, and hopefully a lot of people could see it, and even I for myself can experience the game at the forefront here. Question is, we'll be looking forward on the next release of the sequel for Death Stranding, and whatever games that Kojima is going to release. Actually, there was a teaser before. I remember there was a short clip about the game It, the horror story It, and it was supposed to be a partnership, but there was only teaser, and it became Silent Hill, and then nothing came about it, which is kind of a missed opportunity. So fans were disappointed, even I, because how obviously the narrative of storytelling, how Mr. Kojima is presenting is totally different, unique to his own, is very compelling, and looking forward to the future games that he's going to develop for many gamers in the future. Anyway, that concludes our discussion for today. Come back again on Wednesday for more business update. Help continue support this channel by hitting the like and subscribe buttons as we can get closer and closer to reaching 1,000 subscribers here. Anyway, as always, thank you. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.